Hi guys, and welcome back. So for today's video, we're doing something a little bit more simple. Something that everybody in the shooting game already knows how to do. But for the beginners, this might be a daunting task. To take your barreled action out of your wooden stock and place it in one of the aluminium stocks available on the market. Well guys, I'm here to tell you it's seriously not a big deal. So I'm going to show you how it's done from this gun to from my 2.2 long rifle into that chassis, and I'll take my 7.62 out of that chassis and show you how that's done as well as a second part of the video. So guys, sit back, relax, enjoy this. If you got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, but I'll show you how it's done out of the wood into the aluminium. I'll show you what tools you need and how to do it. All right guys, enjoy. All right guys, first of all, safety first. Please take the bolt out, make sure there's no ammunition, and put it aside so it's not even close to the gun. So first of all, just let's run through where we're going to be working and what we're going to be working on. So this is a Bruno CZ 2.2 long rifle in the old wooden stock. All right, and to take it out, you can always turn the gun, have a nice bag to rest it on. And as you can see, you've got an action screw here, here, and you've got the base plate mount screws over there. So in some cases, you have to take all the screws out to be able to remove it, or maybe to remove the base plate to get to the action screw. With the Bravo chassis, we are lucky enough to only have the 2 action screws over here. If we loosen that, we get to the barreled action. So on the what tools you will need, I use the Bosch kit. It's got everything, all the attachments that actually work on a rifle. I think I got this at Cash Crusaders. Fantastic little bargain there. Okay, so let's just get our barreled or the action screws out. And we can see what the barrel action looks like. All right, and as easy as that. There you go guys, out of the wooden stock, and there you are. Barreled action, exactly what we wanted. All right, so now for the aluminium. So luckily I've got the Picatinny rail on top of this. That actually makes it easier to let it lie stable on the ground. All right, so let's grab the chassis. I got mine over here, and if you've been following me on social media, you've seen I've got the Bravo 2.2. There we go, nice little chassis with all its little features. Works well for the NRL 2.2. All right, and then we just put it on there. Trigger through the trigger shoe. Let's get it lined up. Let it fall into position. There you go. And then your action screws. So if you buy the Bravo 22, it comes with action screws fitted for the chassis and a top rail. So top rail not important for this video, so I'm just going to put it on the side there, and we'll do the installation. So we got a long one and we got a short one. Into the holes they go, and from my little Bosch kit, get the right size tool. There we go, and there we go, and just tighten it. Okay, first just finger tight so you can attach or fasten both, so you make sure that you put the tension throughout, and then nice and finger tight a little bit more, and then we'll use the torque wrench to torque it into place. All right, and there we go. That is basically the installation. If you do not have a torque wrench at home, do not be afraid. Just take it a little bit faster, tighten it at a slight bit more. Give it, in my opinion, just go from your knuckle to about the 2 o'clock position. That gives you about 60 pounds torque. Don't overdo it. You don't want to strip the screws. So that's only if you don't have a torque wrench. Torque wrenches are expensive. But if you have a friend with a torque wrench, I'd advise you to maybe just check the screws before you shoot. If you don't have one, as I say, from 12 on the knuckle to about 2 gives you enough on that. And there we go. As simple as that. Barreled action into a chassis. All right, let's run the 7.62 and just show you how that's done. All right, guys, now for the larger gun than the 2.2, just to show you that this is pretty similar. So this is my 308 or the 7.62 single shot chassis done by AIM Engineering, doesn't have a mag well, and as you can see, same action screws. So most, or I'd like to say 90% of all guns have 2 action screws to keep it in place. So I'm going to take that out and I'll remove it, and I'll show you how to install it again. Alright guys, there you have it. I've taken it apart. It didn't take me 30 seconds. Again, safety first, please remove the bolt, make sure there's no ammunition. I'm taking the bolt, I'm putting it aside so there's no chance that this gun can accidentally discharge. There's nothing, it is completely safe. Alright, here we are. Just so for the guys that don't know what a single shot looks like, it does not have a mag well. It's got a complete piece of metal on the bottom side of the action. Alright, so for this one, I just like to put the scope inside the bag just to give me a little bit more stability. Alright, and as I said before, with any purchase of a chassis, you get 2 action screws. So here's the action screws, and again for the tools, I'm using the nifty little Bosch with all the attachments. And luckily, for 9 out of 10 of my rifles, that one has all the fittings that I require. Alright, so you take the chassis, turn it upside down, let the trigger go through the trigger guard, make sure it fits into place. There we go, well balanced like that. And again, you've got the long and short screw. You never remember which one goes where. Let's start this way around, short front, long back. And again, I'd advise you to use the torque wrench if you have one available. If you don't, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock should be sufficient. And finger tight, there we go. And I'll just move it into frame. 12 o'clock on the knuckle, it's finger tight. There we go, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock should be sufficient. And there we have it, into a chassis it goes. And there you have it guys, as easy as that. To change from a wooden stock into an aluminium stock doesn't even take a minute to a minute and a half. It's important to have the right tools. I got this little Bosch kit that's got all the sizes for all the action screws. I use this on all my rifles. If you can, get yourself one or a similar one. It does make life a little bit easier. With regards to the torque wrench, torquing your chassis onto your barreled action is a very important step. If you don't have one, don't go and spend all that money on it. As I said, use the 12 to 2 rule. Put your knuckles at 12 o'clock and turn it to 2. That would be pretty much where you want it to be. And there you go. From the wooden stock into the aluminium stock in those simple steps. Guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you again. Goodbye.